All right, folks, we are back at Velocity Cycles here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and we are with the beautiful Christina K. And today we have this 2016 BMW S1000 single R in black, and I gotta say, it is gorgeous, just like the lady. So I'm gonna take this puppy out for a ride. First, we're gonna show you some cinematics, then I'm gonna give you my impressions on the bike. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. Let's get to it. So before I'm on it riding, let's go ahead and start this puppy up. Beautiful startup.
Can you even see it?
Nice display, yeah. Let's go ride this puppy. Folks, holy shit. All right, so we are on a 2016 BMW S1000 single R, courtesy of Velocity Motorcycles here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Huge shout out to Chris and Brandon. If you guys are in the market for a motorcycle, BMW, Honda, head on down there and definitely talk to them. Tell them I sent you. I've been waiting so long to be on one of these. People everywhere. I have a friend who has a BMW S1000R, actually a bunch of friends who have double Rs, and people have just been telling me, Jarrett, you need to ride this S1000, it's insane. And I'm finally on it, and I'm super excited. So I hope you guys are as well. So first things first, this is a 2016 model, so it's coming in right around that $13,500 price point. Major differences are, I think it's down 5 horsepower from the 2017 model. You don't get the acro slip-on. It doesn't have the full S1000RR electronics package, but it still has way more electronics than you could possibly ever need, in my opinion. And I gotta say, first impressions, it's a very comfortable, stable monster of a machine. I have to admit, I am a little bit intimidated by this. So yeah, you're coming in 999cc inline 4-cylinder, that BMW, that crazy BMW. It's the same one as the S1000RR, except it has a different tune. So you're getting a little bit more power down low, and a little bit sooner, a little bit more torque, and a little bit less total horsepower. So you're looking at about 160 horsepower in this model. But yeah, man, I gotta say, probably one of the fastest bikes I've ever ridden when it comes to like just immediate, precise power. And that was the first thing that struck me right off the bat with this thing. Also, this windscreen, which I really love, does not come stock. They also had some saddlebags on this model. This model has the upgraded electronics, the ABS Pro. And to be completely honest, guys, I'm gonna preface this review by saying these bikes nowadays have so much electronics that I'm not going to go through every single thing about this bike, because it would literally take hours and probably days and maybe even weeks of riding. All you really need to know is it has traction control, it has electronically controlled suspension, it has ABS, it has wheelie control, it has everything basically that you could ever want in a motorcycle. So I'm not going to be messing with that. It has two settings. It has road and wet. So I'm in road. That has full power, full everything, full electronics. Oh yeah, and one other thing as I'm downshifting that I realized that this model doesn't have from the 2017 model is an auto blipper. So you do have to shift when you're downshifting. You do have to pull in the clutch when you're downshifting. So my whole point with these reviews, guys, is you can go on BMW's website and you can read about all the stats of the bike. You can read how much horsepower it has. You can read all the electronics that they have. You can watch expert reviews of, you know, BMW who give bikes to channels to do reviews and compare every little intricacies and details. My whole point of riding is how fun is the bike? How good does the bike feel to ride on the road, you know? How comfortable is the seat? How good does it feel leaning over into the turns? How immediate is the power, you know? Like, that's the kind of stuff I care about, because I'm not an expert rider. I'm just a guy who loves bikes, and I gotta tell you, oh my God! Oh my God! Okay, so I've ridden the Panigale 1299. I have ridden the Aprilia RSV4 super bikes now, not even naked bikes, super bikes. And I don't know if it's just because of the tuning of this engine, but I'm getting power immediately, and it is actually kind of terrifying. Holy shit. I gotta say, these brakes, oh my God. Okay, so I've read reviews and watched reviews, millions of reviews on this bike, and not millions obviously, but, and the S1000RR as well. And so, I mean, basically the S1000RR is the track version of this, you know. This is when the naked bikes are basically, they take their track bike and they make it more street friendly, right? So that's what this is. It's a more street friendly version of the track bike. And so technically this is probably better for the street than the S1000 is. Now, basically, what does that mean? They put on some higher clip-ons, so you're not completely bent over. It's not fully fairing, so it's a little bit more naked, a little bit more raw, and it's just a little bit more comfortable experience. I can tell you guys right now, just sitting on this bike, the seat is very comfortable. The seat height felt just about right too. I could flat foot this bike. I'm 5'10", around 175 pounds. The gauge cluster looks really phenomenal, and I was actually complaining a little bit about them still having the tachometers on here, and I don't know, I actually kind of like the tachometer. It gives you a little bit more of that raw feel, a little bit more of that old school feel. As far as layout of everything, I gotta say, man, BMW, the power on this is is actually a little bit frightening. So on Super Sports, which is what I'm used to riding, you know, even the Panigales, the RSV4s, you know, the power doesn't have as much torque, right? So this is tuned to have more torque, and that torque feels insane because you're getting it so much quicker. You're getting all the power from the S1000RR, but you're getting it quicker. Now, it doesn't have that high end, obviously, you know, that the S1000RR has, but you're getting it. This is way more road friendly, and I gotta say, I feel very in control on this bike. It feels very, very precise, but also this is not a beginner bike. This could get away from you very, very fast, but man, it just lays over so easily. Connequina Creek here in Pennsylvania. Man, I couldn't have asked for a better day to ride one of these. I gotta say, I'm very, very impressed. People kept telling me, as I said, you gotta ride the S1000RR, you gotta ride it. Oh yeah, here's a fun fact. The Meadows is where I grew up. That was like my house when I was in high school, right up there. So this is like literally my stomping grounds growing up right here, which is pretty cool. That's one of the reasons I want to come this way. Old school Meadows, man. Shout out to the Meadows crew. But one of the biggest complaints I've heard about this bike, which is kind of absurd if you really think about it, is it's too perfect. It does everything too well, and I never really thought, why would you complain about something like that? But I don't know. I don't really see that as an issue. I mean, I guess you could say that when a bike does everything too well, that maybe it would lack a little bit of character. But I guess it just depends what you want, you know. This thing is that power is insane. There is no lag at all from when you twist the throttle to when the power comes on, and because of that torque, you just like, it almost feels like you're, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like you're almost like teleporting forward. It doesn't even make sense. Oh man, and I hope you guys can hear that, the burbles from the exhaust. But man, one of the best handling bikes I've ever ridden. I don't know if it's from the high clip-ons or what. And the brakes are freaking insane. Oh, my buddy Raymond has a BMW S1000RR, and he always told me I need to go ride it because he said I would fall in love. Well, obviously this is a single R, but I think I'm falling in love right now. Oh my god. Okay, couple of things. First off, when you shift on this thing without using the clutch, the exhaust like pops. So when I'm shifting, boom, pop, boom, pop. I hope you guys can hear that. And also, I want you to hear this down. There's those pops. Man, this engine is really something special. People say this lacks character. I'm not sure I would agree with that. Man, this bike is very, very impressive. And so I mentioned I wasn't going to talk a lot about the electronics, but I will say 2 rider modes, road and wet. Obviously wet mode, you know, retards the throttle so it's not so abrupt and so fast. It gives you higher traction control levels, probably a little bit more abrasive ABS and stuff like that. But road mode, which is what I'm in, is giving you that full 160 horsepower, crazy engine. And oh my God, is it amazing, guys. Let's see how the turning circle is. Nobody's turning in. Perfect. Man, these higher clip-ons are really easy to use. It's really easy at low speeds. So that quick shifter is the best quick shifter I've ever used. Hands down, like easily the best quick shifter I've ever used. I've had issues with quick shifters when you're going at road speeds, or even just like getting on it like I was, not crazily, but you know, getting on it, that won't be smooth in the gear, kind of clinks in the gear. This one, super smooth. Also, I've heard people talk about buzzing with this motor, maybe in the clip-ons or something like that. I'm not getting any vibrations at all. I'm getting no heat at all. The mirrors work pretty well. There's plenty of adjustments there. Now, personally, I don't think I would put my mirrors there. I'd probably get bar end mirrors. Also, I will say this this layout, this gauge layout, is really, really nice, really clean. You've got everything you could ever possibly want on there, including a fuel gauge, which is pretty impressive. Gear indicator, your odometer, your miles, your time, your average fuel miles. You can cycle through all kinds of stuff. This one also has heated grips. It has cruise control. And I have to say, if you're a fan of naked bikes, you should definitely go check out one of these. Coming in right around that 13,000, 13.5 mark. It's going to be competing with things like the Super Duke, the 1290 Super Duke, the Aprilia Tuono, the FZ10 from Yamaha, and man, I think this would be really tough to beat. Now, I would have to take some of those out. I haven't been on any of those to see how they compare, but first impressions of this thing, dude, I think it's going to be really hard to beat. Engine braking's really nice. I think you can even adjust that kind of stuff. But as far as leaning it in, like it leans in very, very easily. Man, this is a really, really nice bike. And like I'm so comfortable. I have no weight on my wrists at all. I'm sitting upright, but I'm still a little bit leaned forward, so I am in somewhat of an aggressive position. I'm pretty sure the tail end of this bike is almost identical to the S1000R. So I mean, you're getting like a race bike tail end. You're just getting some higher clip-ons, which honestly, for a lot of people who aren't professional racers, you're probably going to be able to perform better on this bike. Man, I can't get over this engine. For me, the engine is the highlight of the bike, and I guess the chassis to some degree, so that, you know, obviously you want that power and you want that agility, and this really has it all, man. It just feels so stable. I think you could get in a lot of trouble on this, dude. The brakes, though, man. Damn. My God. I'm almost at a loss for words right now. Oh. And honestly, this is a stock exhaust, and to have that kind of, those burbles and stuff on the down tunes and the pops on the upshifts, good God. And you can really just, oh, okay, so the suspension feels a little soft right now, but I can change all that stuff on the fly. So I think soft, let's make it a little more firm. So there, that's normal now. So that should firm it up a little bit. Okay, yeah, it does. Wow. Good God. That quick shifter is just so smooth. I gotta say, as a whole, I mean, I know I haven't been on this bike very long, but I've ridden so many bikes that it doesn't take me long to kind of figure out what the bike does and how it feels. And bikes that I always like are ones that everything works well together. And when you have an engine that's this powerful, but you have brakes that are that good, and then a quick shifter that's that smooth, this is incredible. I don't want to stop riding this. really would have to be careful on this bike because it just wants to go so fast that you could get yourself in trouble really, really easily on this. This is a 35 mile per hour road, and man, oh, I wish you guys could hear these pops when it shifts up. It is really, really exhilarating. I gotta say, me personally, I've always been a really big superbike fan. So I love super sports. I like the full fairing bikes. I love the way they look. I like being in that really racy position. But I'm 34 years old. I'm getting a little bit older, and I'm starting to understand the appeal of these bikes. You're getting road-friendly power. You still have way more than you would ever need. You're in a very comfortable position. They still look freaking awesome. They have all the electronics of the super track bikes, and man, they are just a lot of fun. Oh my good God. These make a lot more sense for the road, like honestly. Oh my God. Oh, there's that freaking downshift. Let's hang a right ski here. BMW just does a really good job at laying stuff out really well. And you can just keep the throttle pinned wide open and just keep shifting gears, and it just does it so easy. And the turning is just, it's absurd how well this thing drives. Oh, there it is. I hope you guys can hear that. Let's see. Oh, man, this bike is incredible. So yeah, I think the appeal of this bike for me would be you can do everything on it. You could take this thing to the track, probably spank people on super sports. You could tour on it. You could commute on this thing. It's going to be great day to day, just around town, everything like that. Man, it just does everything. It looks freaking cool. It sounds cool. The performance is just fucking absurd. Oh my God! This is a really, really fun bike. BMW, I have to applaud you because you have made one hell of a machine. Good God. Yeah, there's just, wow, those brakes, holy shit. Man, those brakes are good. And honestly, you need brakes like that when you're riding a bike like this. It is beautiful out here, man. What a freaking wonderful day. I will say the only thing I've noticed so far about this bike is finding neutral can be a bitch. Let's see how this sounds. That's absurd. So, Inline 4 has that more racy high-end sound. My favorite sounding bike of all time is the Aprilia. I love the V4 sound, but this one sounds really, really good. Yeah, you know, it would really be, it would be hard not to get in trouble on this bike. The good thing about it is, hope this wasn't down too low the whole time. The good thing about it is, it's still fun to ride at normal speeds because you have that immediate torque. Like, that power comes on immediately, and because you have that torque, it makes it a lot of fun on the street. You don't have to be going as fast to have fun. Man, this thing is freaking nice. It is so, so good. Yeah, I'm getting no vibrations. The mirrors have maybe a tiny bit of vibrations, but most do. I'm in a really, really comfortable position. I can see everything laid out on that dash very, very well. My one complaint, like I said, maybe would be the dash. A lot of bikes have full TFT displays now, and I think that, you know, when you're looking at bikes and you're comparing bikes, that's something that some people want. It's probably a personal preference kind of thing, whether you want the odometer or not. But, dear God. For $13,500, I think it would be pretty tough to find a better bike than this. Now again, I have to ride the Tuono, I would like to ride the Super Duke, and some of the other naked bikes. I have been on the Monster, and I would have to say performance-wise, this puts the Monster to shame. I was on the 821 though, not the 1200, and it wasn't the R model, which has the better suspension and all that, but yeah, this thing is insane. And I think it only has like Sachs suspension too. I don't even think it has Öhlins. And man, it doesn't need it, dude. I almost just want to keep riding this thing. And to me, you know, like that's what you want in a bike. You want a bike that like you just don't want to get off of, you know? God, this freaking... It even pops just right there. Good God, I can't even imagine if you put a full system on this. I almost just got hit by a bus right there. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much back at the dealership at this point. I have to say, I'm very, very impressed with this bike. This is a freaking winner, man. I don't think there's really much more you could ask for. It handles amazing. It's super, super comfortable. No heat at all. It's got every freaking rider aid you could ever want. And the engine is fucking insane, guys. Like, it is literally insane. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Head over to my channel, check out all the other motorcycle stuff that we do. Huge shout out to Velocity Motorcycles, letting us take these bikes out for you. Let us know what bike you'd like to see us on next, and God, what an amazing bike. We'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.